Hello, everybody, and welcome to our channel. I'm Mark,
And I'm Rob.
and today we're going to talk about two things. One is the Indiana Fever a contender, and two, are the other teams starting to be scared of the Indiana Fever? Hey, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do so and hit the notification bell when you do so you get notified of our next videos. So I asked two questions initially. I know they're related, but let's start with the first one. Rob, do you think they're contenders at this point?
Oh, most definitely. They're playing well as a team. They've gotten used to each other now. They've gotten used to Caitlin Clark and kind of see what a great player she is for them in distributing the ball. And now they had this rest, and they've won. They've beaten some good teams this past two games.
Right. And by contenders, I guess we're just saying, could they make a threat during the playoffs? Are they a threat in the playoffs? Could they win a playoff series or two? I'm not saying they're going to win the championship. I don't think contenders means that. Contenders means you have a shot of doing some damage in the playoffs. So realistically, I don't know if they could beat New York Liberty and say a best of 5 series.
Yeah.
So I don't think so. But I think they're contenders too. How much contenders, we'll find out in the next 4 games because they're going to play the Minnesota Lynx. They're going to play the Connecticut Sun. They're going to play the Atlanta Dream. And of course, they're going to play Chicago Sky. Now, each of those games are important. Minnesota Lynx and Connecticut, they haven't beaten yet this year. So those are huge games for them. And they're the second and third best team in the league right now. Atlanta's important because they beat them twice. But the first time, Tina Charles was coming back from an injury and only played 16 minutes. And the second time they beat him, Ryan Howard was injured. So they haven't played him when they're 100% healthy. So I think that's a big game for them, and they're in 9th place. So I think that's an important game. And, of course, we know Chicago Sky, they're right behind them in the playoff race. And, of course, it's Angel Reese and all that crap. But they beat them 2 times out of 3, and they choked away the last game. So, Rob, they won 4 of 5, and they've won 10 of the last 15. And 2 of those losses, they had good-sized leads and blew them. So I think they're capable of doing some damage. I think they're actually better than what they've been playing.
Yeah. So, like we said, they're definitely contenders. And if when they get Timmy back, that'll help them even more.
Tammy's supposed to be back on Saturday. She had, as people probably know, she had 2 injuries, and the second one was her hand, and the cast is off, and supposedly she's ready. It's a thumb problem. So she adds a lot to the team. She's fast. She plays well with Clark, and she hustles on defense, which obviously they have shortcomings on defense. So she adds a lot to the team, and she gives them depth at forward position, which they don't have.
And I think their bench is coming on a little more, especially with Hull. Lexi Hull is showing up, and she scored. If she starts scoring along with her great defense, that's going to help a lot.
Right, they hitting threes is huge because Clark can set it up so that they get easy 3 shots, and so I think that's what makes the team so dangerous. Is that Clark is able to make everyone around her better, and to make high percentage shots for the other team with her great passing and floor generalship.
And Mark, since they're dangerous, I think a lot of teams are going to be, like the second part, afraid to play the Fever.
Yeah, and Boston is playing better. Beginning of the year, she seemed out of shape, seemed out of practice, quite frankly. And now she's figuring out how to play with Clark. She's shown, and Rebecca Lobo called her the best passing center in the league. I'll take Rebecca Lobo's word on that because she looks like an excellent passer to me, second best passer on the team. And so she's becoming deadly in that sense. Caitlin Clark doesn't have to do all the passing. She can pass out of the top of the key there, and it makes the team a little bit deadly as long as they have motion, right, Rob?
If they get some motion going, people don't stand around. Yeah, cut to the basket, easy, give and go, basic basketball.
But I think because they hadn't beaten those 2 teams, and then the other 2 teams are also going after the playoff spots that they're after, these next 4 games are absolutely huge, and I think they need to win a decent percentage of them. I don't know what they need to win, but they need to win some of these games, Rob. They can't go on a losing streak. That would kill it.
Yeah, that would hurt them. But like I said, I think they're ready. That the team is a little more focused, and they're playing with the main thing is they're playing with confidence, which is helping them a lot. Even though they were down, or even when they the last game or one of the other games where they blew a 28-point lead. Usually normally they would have folded, but they came back and they ended up winning the game.
Well, 3 of these games are away. So if they win 2 or 3 games, that'd be pretty good. They win 4, it'd be awesome. But they can't go 1-3 or 0-4. That would be a disaster. I think that if it's important for them to beat Minnesota and Connecticut at least once this year. They did that with the New York Liberty, and it gives you confidence going to the playoffs, knowing that you beat them at least once during the regular season in case they meet them, which
right.
a pretty good chance they're going to meet one of those teams, one of those 2 teams in the playoffs, because they're in 2nd and 3rd, and right now Fever's in 7th. So if you don't know, 1 versus 8, 2 versus 7, 3 versus 6, 4 versus 5. And the first round is best of 3, and then the next 2 rounds are both best of 5.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what happens. So we'll know for sure after 4 games from now. I think you'll be able to draw a very good conclusion on whether or not they're contenders and whether or not teams really fear them. If they beat the Sun and the Lynx,
watch out.
The league's on notice.
Watch out. Well, I mean, they're already on notice right now because now they're with Clark, and like I said, they're getting used to each other. So I think the teams are like, this is their Super Bowl when they play the Fever, not the Fever. They're fearing. They're circling the calendar like, oh gosh, we got to play the Fever, especially if they're playing the Fever at home.
Right, but they have to continue. They have to continue it to really have them
right.
contenders and have people scared of them. They can't, go on a losing streak here. These are huge games, and I think they're going to get high ratings too. I think these games are going to get high ratings because Caitlin Clark's playing better and the team's playing better, and I think it gives more attention. So we'll see what happens.
You think there's a little revenge factor with Lynx with that delightful coach, Reeve?
You like that name? Delightful Shara Reeve. I think that Caitlin Clark is dying. I think she probably will try harder against her than any other team in the league.
I think so.
She knows she was a big, big reason she wasn't on the Olympic team. Big. Gino kept Candace Parker off the Olympic team. Shara Reeves had enough pull to keep her off the Olympic team.
Huge.
And she might have been the number 1 reason, even though, the committee made the decision. Okay, but we know the coach has say in it. They even said that. The coach, they do get input from the coach.
Mm-hmm.
So she was a huge reason. If she had said, oh, I want Caitlin Clark on my team, 100% she would have been on that team. They would have found a spot for her.
Oh, yeah.
Shara Reeves kept her off the team. No question about it in my mind. If that coach says, I got to have that woman. She's great point guard. I need some point guard depth. Guess what? She's on the team. So,
So
the more I think about it, the more I think she kept her off the team.
I think so. Yeah, I agree with you, Mark. I think, every game for Clark is a important game for her, but I think this one's going to be really for her to like, I'll show you type game.
I'm looking forward to Saturday night for that exact reason. And I hope they beat him for that reason, Rob. So I can't wait to see the press conference afterwards to see how delightful Shara Reeve is.
She's a delightful person, Mark.
The only compliment she's given Caitlin Clark so far is that she said she did compliment her on the attendance and ratings that she get. She did say that one thing. Mm-hmm. That's it. She never compliment Caitlin Clark on her play once, Rob. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens if she loses,
We'll see how delightful she'll be if she loses.
Licking my chops, as they say. Let us know what you think. Are they contenders? That means can they make some damage in playoffs? Not necessarily going to win the championship. Do you think teams are scared of them right now? I think they are scared of them.
Fear the fever. Fear the fever.
Any team that's on a roll, you would fear. That's just natural in sports. So we'll see. They're certainly not going to take them lightly. All right, let us know what you think down below in the comments. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so and hit that notification bell when you do so you get notified of our next videos. If you like this video, hit the like button. And we'll be live, as we mentioned, Saturday, 8 o'clock. It's on NBA TV against the Minnesota Lynx. And our normal live show is Monday, 6 to 8 Eastern time, except for major holidays. And you can call in for that show. If you want to donate to this channel, there's super chats and super thanks down below. And there's also a link to PayPal. And we'll see you on the next video.
Peace out.